Alrighty, so this is Math 005 from University of St. Thomas. This is Lesson 5, Part 2. Alright, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time doing the rest of these. I'm going to work on 2 or 3 of these. I'm going to work on probably 8 and 9 and then possibly 10, depending on how long this is taken. And I'm going to just kind of run through these. I'm hoping that folks are feeling like they are understanding how to put things together. In this particular case, I took a look at this. I have tens and hundredths, so I went ahead and I multiplied everything through by 100. All right, so I have 100x, 340 plus 15x. So now I'm going to go ahead and shuffle things around. I'm going to find out what my answers are, and we'll go from there. But the big piece is to recognize, okay, I've got decimals. I want to clear those decimals out by multiplying through by a multiple of 10. And we did that by multiplying through with 100. So 100x minus 15x is going to be greater than or equal to 340. And that's going to give me 85x. Is going to be less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to 340. And if I go ahead and divide this by the 85, my x is going to be greater than or equal to 4. And here's my 4. I have a solid dot because my 4 is included, and I'm saying my x is greater than that, so I'm headed towards infinity. My interval notation is going to be 4, infinity, and I have a paren on that, infinity, and a square bracket before the 4. All right, on this next one, you can see that we have a less than or equal to, and then another less than or equal to. So I've got this middle piece that I'm worried about, but I've got to deal with stuff on either side of that middle piece. So we're going to go ahead, instead of saying I'm going to add 2 to both sides, I'm going to add 2 everywhere on each of those 3 parts. So in this case, I've got a negative 17 plus 2. That's going to leave me with a negative 15. Is going to be less than or equal to 3x, which is less than or equal to 10 plus 2, which is going to give me a 12. All right. At this point, now I'm going to divide everywhere by 3, right? So negative 15 divided by 3 is going to give me a negative 5. Less than or equal to x, because 3 divided by 3 is going to give me 1. Right, so that becomes just a plain old 1x. And then my 12 divided by 3 is going to give me a positive 4. So I'm saying that my values here are going to go from negative 5 to 4. And now I need to do 2 things. First of all, I have to figure out, are my values, the negative 5 and the 4, going to be included? And since this says less than or equal to, the answer is yes. Those are both going to become solid dots. Okay, so we've got that's partly set up. All right, now I need to figure out which part is shaded. Am I including the stuff in between those, or am I talking about the stuff on either side of those? And if we take a look, this is saying that this is bracketing our x. So in this case, we're looking for everything in between those 2 values, including those values. All right, so we've got a square bracket, negative 5, a 4, and a closing square bracket. All right, and that is going to be our solution for number 9. Now, for number 10, and I'm actually going to move this up a bit, I'm going to go ahead and multiply everywhere by 3, right? Because I've got this, I'm dividing by 3. I need to get that x alone. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to multiply by 3. That becomes a negative 12 is less than or equal to x minus 1, which is less than or equal to 12 right? My positive 12 there. And now I'm going to add 1 everywhere. All right, so that's going to make that x become alone. So I'm going to have negative, if I add negative 12 and add 1, that's going to give me a negative 11, less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 13, because I have 12 plus 1 is going to give me my 13. So my number line, here's my negative 11. Here is my 13. I have less than or equal to, so that means that's going to be a solid dot. And again, a less than or equal to, so that's a solid dot. My x is bracketed by both of these numbers, so that means this is my solution set. It's everything in between those numbers, including those numbers. So square bracket of a negative 11, 13, and my closing square bracket. And we're done.